Hello everybody, my name is Annie Henderson. I am a life coach and I am making this EFT tapping video especially for Brandy and her amazing crew. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about it and show you the places to tap and give you an example of what to say. But the great news is, one, you don't have to believe it will work for it to work. And two, many people do it slightly different. When I became an EFT practitioner, I learned even some more meridian tapping points than what I'm going to show you. What I'm going to show you is if, for example, you ever Google a symptom or something and tapping, YouTube will be filled with stuff, and most of them will be the techniques that I'll show you. If you're ever wanting to dive deeper, we can do that. But as Brandy said, this technique's great. And then if you ever want to look up someone on YouTube, this is usually the path that they will take. But hopefully this is a good foundation for you. Before we get going, make sure you are hydrated. Not just because it's the thing to do all the time, but it works best for your tapping as well. So if you have a cup nearby, take a little drink. Okay, so first, like she mentioned, EFT is emotional freedom technique, and it has to do with tapping on different meridian points. And it might look a little funny and sound a little resistant, but if it's something easy and free and you can do it in your own house or in your car, I'll tap while I'm driving somewhere. Tapping is something I do daily, then why wouldn't people try this? So sometimes fear can make people resistant. So just a few also fun success stories that I've had with people. So I've done this with kiddos as young as 5 years old and as old as 99, my grandma. So it's helped with people with grief, self-image, back pain, neck surgery recovery, knee pain before having surgery. What else? For myself, shoulder. I sat with something for about a month before I was like, why am I not tapping on this? And in about 3 minutes, it fixed it. It went away and it's not a problem. I was so amazed. Same thing with like a sore knee. I just didn't even think to do it. And then I did it for just a few minutes as I'm about to show you. So I hope you like it. Okay. Yeah. Let's get on with it. So before you start, if you do this with something like pain or maybe anxiety, what you want to do is first pick a number, rank it on a scale. So 0 to 10, 0 being you're perfectly fine, you don't have this problem, 10 being it's as extreme as it can get. So give it a number. That way, after we do a round, you'll be able to say, you know what, it shifted. Or like with my shoulder, I was like, oh, I still feel it a little bit. Like it was a 5 and now it's a 3. And I'd go again and see if it keeps shifting. Same thing with feelings. It might be a little harder to tell, but you might feel a shift. Some people, when doing this, I just want to tell you this just in case so you're not alarmed, as they're clearing stuff out, especially if it has to do with traumas or phobias, anything like that, they might start yawning or laughing or crying, and that's okay. It's just part of the process. And as you go through, you might uncover different things like, oh, I'm really angry, and we tap on it. Oh, I'm actually sad. Oh, tap on that some more. And you can shift what you say each time. So let's get started. So actually, the first thing you do is a set up statement. And it is your karate chop point right here. Like you're going to do a karate chop. It's nice and soft and squishy. And this is where you'll do your setup statement. This is the spot usually people do. Sometimes there's a really tender spot near your armpit, and you can feel it by kind of poking around, and you're like, ooh, that's one I do sometimes. If I'm driving, that's the one I'll go to. But you can start with this one, nice, easy to find, and you do your setup statement 3 times. Even though I am so worried and full of anxiety, I still love and accept myself. So real quick, so I don't have to interrupt and stop and explain, I'll show you the points. Brandy had them so close. It was pretty perfect, pretty perfect. So the setup statement, and then right kind of where your eyebrow starts. You can do both sides. It doesn't matter which side, just one is fine. So eyebrow, side of your eye, and it shouldn't hurt. Right there, there's like a little bone, and you're gonna tap about 7 times. You don't have to count, because as you're talking, you'll be tapping and it should be perfect. Below the eye, there's a little bone right there. Below the eye, below the nose, in your little chin dent. And then some people just tap like this. I've heard several that will say, find your little collarbones, go down 1 inch and out 1 inch. And if you poke around, you'll feel it's a little tender. So you can do right there, 1 or both. Next, under your armpit, about where, if you were wearing a bra, that would be. And then end on top. Okay, let's do a round. So let's say you are watching a lot of news, you're in Facebook, you're talking to people nonstop about coronavirus and just freaked out and worrying about everything and people that are getting sick, all the stuff. So let's say you're a 9. So we'll start. Even though I have this intense fear of everything that's going on, I still love and accept myself. Even though I am scared to death for me and my family, I still love, accept, and forgive myself. Even though I have this fear and anxiety and a little anger around people going out, I still love and forgive myself and everyone around me. And then you'll go on. And here you can talk for a long time. If you want to talk and talk about the situation. If you're like, I don't know what to say, it can be as simple as all this fear, this anxiety, all this worry built up. I'm so afraid. What's going to happen to everybody? I keep hearing all these scary things. I'm so mad at people just going out and living their life like normal and making it worse. All this fear and worry. And then you take a deep breath. And what you'll do here is you will give it a new number. Sit with it, think for a second, move your body around. Okay, it was a 9, and it might not have moved at all. You might be like, oh, I'm just still angry. I'm still super worried and concerned. Or you might be like, you know what? Maybe 8.5, or maybe it dropped to 5, which is great, but you want it even lower. So you'll just keep going. So you're going to do another round. If something shifted, think about what it was. If there's a certain word or a specific person that you're angry with, you can mention them. So now when we do the setup statement, we're going to say, even though I still have this anxiety, I love and accept myself. Even though I go to bed at night and I cry when my kids are asleep, it's going to be okay. and I love and forgive myself. And even though, here's my dog, even though I still have this pain and this anxiety in the pit of my stomach, I still love and accept and forgive myself and those around me. And we'll do just a real quick one just to let you practice and get some muscle memory, and then you can always replay this. And this will be, we can do an example of what you can say if you want to say a little bit more. I'm so mad at my brother. They're just not taking things seriously at all. These are hypothetical for me, but I'm just going with it. They're going to make us stay in quarantine even longer. Oh, I just want to tell him off. But what good would that do? It would just add anger to my fear, and that won't help anybody. All this fear, all this anxiety. Okay, and if you are a big LOA person and you want to stick more to positive, now the thing is, when you tap, instead of therapy, so I used to be, or I still am, but when I used to do private practice with my LPC, I would sit and we would do talk therapy, right? And people would talk and talk about their issues, but the only thing is they're using their prefrontal cortex, which means they're talking about it, but their amygdala, right, that caveman part of the brain, is not being accessed, and that holds a lot of fear and trauma and phobias, all of that fight or flight stuff. So when we tap, it kind of soothes the amygdala. So if there's something that you have that's kind of triggering that you need to work through, like trauma or PTSD or phobias, anything like that, that you can't logically talk yourself out of, tapping is a great way to do it. Like I said, I do tapping every morning, so I recommend it. It could be on confidence. It could be doing it before a job interview. It could be tapping for patience so that you can make it through another day with your kids, whatever it is. If you have any specific questions or something wasn't clear, feel free to reach out to me or to let Brandy know and she can ask me. Either way, I hope this was helpful. Again, after that second round, you will take your new number. Okay, it was a 5, now it's a 4. And then you can keep going. If something new came up, if there was a new aspect. All right, quick dog shout out. Here is Skeeter. Here's your animal pet therapy for the day. All right, it was great. Sorry, Facebook didn't work out, but I love doing this for you guys. And Brandy, you're amazing. Keep spreading your wonderful blessings and doing what you do. Love you guys.